Hey, this is Zero, ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you guys a Disgaea video this morning. I have first impressions as the title of this video because it's not quite a review, but it's also not quite a first impressions either, because I played through this game back when it released on the PS2 in 2006, 2007, so I'm very familiar with it, but I haven't had a lot of time to play this new version this week, so I'm just showing the first few battles and the cutscenes. Now, it released last week in the PlayStation Store for $9.99. Just got around to downloading it last night. I wanted to share it with you guys along with some general information about it. Now, if you're a subscriber of mine, you might be kind of surprised that I'm doing a video on a PS2 classic title, because that's something that I don't do very often, but this is a special game and a special release. This is also a hard title to find because most people spend so much time playing it that they don't want to get rid of it, so the copies aren't really just all over the place. GameStop had some used copies starting at $20, but you really don't know what you're getting when you order a used copy off there, and eBay had this one going from anywhere between $15 to $50, so $10 is definitely a good price even if it is a PS2 title. Now, there was also a re-release for the PSP titled Disgaea 2 Dark Hero Days, which has a few more bells and whistles over this version, but these are two separate different games. It does contain both English and Japanese voiceovers. You can switch to Japanese voiceovers and still read the text in English, and if you guys have never played one of these Disgaea games, the voiceovers are always really good. I'm gonna let you guys hear both versions right here.
I can't wait to tell Bridget about this! But how do we know if she really is Overlord Zenon's daughter?
Hey, you've got a point. Hey, Toots, are you really the Overlord's daughter?
How dare you address me as Toots? Do you not know the proper way to speak to a princess?
何を申すか。魔王と戦うためには、それ相応の試練を乗り越えてゆかねばならぬ。それが伝統の儀式というものであろう。
Now, if you don't like the story and it doesn't interest you, you can skip a lot of the cutscenes and just fast forward through the other talking sections by holding circle. But most people that play these games play them or enjoy them for the stories. I know that I enjoy the stories in these games. They're usually pretty good. And as with all the Disgaea titles, there's a lot of lengthy tutorials at the start to kind of help you get started if you're new to the series. But if you've never played any of the more recent Disgaea titles, this is a good place to start because it doesn't contain some of the more advanced features that make the newer ones a little more complicated to play. But if you did play Disgaea 3 or 4 on the PS3, then you should be able to quickly pick up everything about this game in no time at all, as the combat system's pretty much the same. You still have geotiles, combo attacks, all the specials and magic, lifting and throwing, everything that makes these titles fun to play. Disgaea 2 looks pretty identical to the original game, but as with every one of these games in this series, you don't need to play the previous game to enjoy the story. They are standalone tales, they don't continue between each title. This story revolves around the main character named Adele, who's a human living in a town full of monsters, which was caused by an overlord named Zenon, who cursed the townsfolk to transform into demons and lose their memories, which is where the game's Cursed Memory title comes from. And following suit with the stories in the other Disgaea titles, your goal is to take down this super being Zenon to hopefully reverse the curse and save the town. The story is very JRPG, and as with all Disgaea titles, it can be quite silly, but it's all in good fun. The gameplay is a bit quicker than the original game, and one thing I noticed right off the bat is the loading times are pretty quick for a role-playing PS2 game, just a couple seconds to switch areas. The camera can be spun around along with zoomed in and out to get a better view of your environment, and with these titles it's rather hard to gauge how long it will take you to play through this game because of the way it's all set up, but completing the main story should take you around 30 to 40 hours depending on how much you get sidetracked, which is pretty easy to do on here. But once you complete the game, you can continue playing and leveling up, visiting the randomly generated dungeon item world, and basically just challenging yourself and pushing your party to the limit. And with this being a PS2 title being played on the PS3, you can adjust the screen size. What you're watching in this video looks a bit stretched because it's being displayed in widescreen to fill the entire area of the recorder and this YouTube video and also my LCD television, but you can switch it to normal, which will sharpen the graphics up a little bit, but it will cause some black boxes on both sides of the screen because it is a PS2 title. You can also turn smoothing on and off, which what you're watching here is with the smoothing turned on. That's pretty much all I have for this video. Just wanted to get some information and gameplay up for those that are interested in the Disgaea titles, as this one's definitely worth checking out if you enjoy this series. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got. This is Zero, ReviewZoneHD, and thanks for stopping by.